everyone, Justin here from the Bill Coors Wellness Center, coming at you with your stretch break of the week. For today's stretch break, I want to take you through 5 stretches that can help to breathe new life into your day. And so basically this is going to help break up a lot of sitting, inactivity, or repetitive motions that we're doing while we're at work. And of course you could always do this on a day off too, to really just help to loosen a lot of muscles throughout your entire body. And so with that said, we're going to start with the first one. Follow along with me. We're going to do an IT band stretch with a little side bend action. So the IT band is that fibrous band that's on the outside of our leg, and that when it gets tight, it can pull at the knee and create some knee pain. So what I want you to do is, if we're going to aim for stretching the left side first, I want you to take the left, dip it behind the right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lean, let that hip kick out, and then reach overhead with that other arm. So I'm feeling a stretch really through the entire left side of my body here, basically all the way from my armpit, so my lat, through my obliques here, into that lateral hip, and then into the IT band. Once we get 30 seconds here, come on out of it, shake it out real quick, same thing on the other side. So we're going to cross the side that we're aiming to stretch behind the other leg, kick it out, and then reach. Take some big belly breaths here. Inhale through the nose. That's going to really puff out that stomach and create a little more enhanced stretch. And then exhale through the mouth. So nice big deep breaths here. Really reaching those fingertips towards the wall. And then now that we've got 30 seconds there, come on out of it. We'll move to our second one, which is going to be a staggered hip flexor stretch. So we're going to start by getting in a staggered stance. I want to take the toe, I want to turn it in towards my body. So I'm kind of in this lunge, like semi-lunge position. And then from here, what I want to do is I'm going to squeeze this back glute. I'm going to automatically start feeling a stretch through the front of the hip in my hip flexor, which is great. That's exactly where we want it. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take that arm overhead just for a old school overhead tricep stretch. And then you can even side bend just a little bit like we did on the last one. And that's going to put a little more stretch on that hip flexor. And so here we're really aiming to get that stretch in the tricep and the back of the arm, as well as the front of the hip. That front of the hip area gets really tight the longer we sit. And so making sure we are stretching this out daily is super important to help prevent back pain and other phantom aches and pains that you may experience throughout the day. All right, now that we've got 30 seconds there, we're going to switch it up. Same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn that toe in. I'm going to get in this staggered stance. I'm going to turn that back glute on, and then I'm going to reach overhead, grab the elbow, maybe even introduce a little bit of side bend away from that back leg. And then I should be feeling that stretch in that front of the hip again, and the back of the arm. Again, nice big deep belly breaths here will help to enhance that stretch. And the good thing about this too is if we're trying to keep our heel down, we're going to get a little bit of a calf stretch as well. So multiple birds with one stone, if you will. All right, come up out of that. Now we're moving to our third one. We're going to do a deep squat, a position that many of us should be getting into daily, but we don't. And so let's have those feet hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider, toes slightly pointed outwards, and then we're going to sink down into the bottom of a squat. Now in this position, I want to try to keep my back flat, so I'm actually going to take my elbows and I'm going to pry on the inside of the legs. And then from here, I just want you to shift weight back and forth from one side to the next. Do your best to try to keep your heels down. If your heels are coming up, lift that butt up just a little more, and that should allow you to keep the whole foot flat on the floor. We're going to go 10 rocks side to side, really focusing on pushing those knees out without allowing the toes to splay any further outwards. Once we've got about 10 rocks on each side, and you're feeling a nice deep stretch through that hip capsule, we're going to come up out of that, and we're going to move to our fourth or second to last stretch, which is going to be a figure 4 stretch. So it's a good idea to have a wall or something or a chair close to you so that you can help with your balance. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross ankle over on opposite thigh. I'm going to sit my hips back, and then what I want to do is actually get in the right orientation, and then I want to rotate. So if I've got my left arm crossed or left leg crossed over, I'm going to take my left arm and pull it up towards the ceiling. And then I'm actually turning my head and entire body to help accommodate that reach. 30 seconds here, and I'm really getting a strong stretch through that glute. And then I'm getting a little bit of chest stretch as well here. Then we're going to spend 30 seconds here, so just try to relax into this. The further you can get those hips back and the more you can rotate, the more stretch you're going to feel through that glute. And then now that we got 30 seconds there, we're going to switch, get close to that wall, cross the right ankle over this time, or whichever one you didn't do last time, and then we're rotating with that same side arm. Big breaths. And then once we've got 30 seconds there, we're going to come on out of it, and then we're going to do our last one, which is going to be a full-on chest stretch. So we're going to do a chest opener to forward fold, get a little hamstring action as well. Clasp those hands behind your back. We're going to drive down. Try to get those palms together if you can. Shoulder blades are down and back. So try not to round them forward. Get those back. Keep your belly tight. Then we're going to just hinge, forward fold. Keep those knees straight. And then we're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. So we got chest going on as well as hamstrings. And then once we get 30 seconds here, we will have gotten pretty much every muscle in the body and hopefully have breathed some new life into you. All right, come on up, shake it out, and that is it for our 5 stretches for this week. So hopefully you enjoyed those, you found them useful, and be sure to check out next week's stretch break, and we'll see you then.